All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight on the program, race number 3 and round number 3 here at the Kokomo Speedway, the Mimi's Makings and Motions World of Thunder Racing League. It is super late model time as Brett Wheeler joined alongside Zach Newton. As Zach, well, it's time to go qualifying here at the bull ring.
Absolutely. GYATK is the hashtag, and we have succeeded. We have got ourselves to Kokomo, and what a night of racing we've had so far. As you see, the First Lady of Dirt Racing, Jennifer Hans, taking time right now in that number 11 machine. We've already had a great night of racing action. Ryan Underwood wins the DirtFan.com Pro Late Models, the fixed series, earlier tonight. And then Blake Majulis gets back into victory lane in the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds as time trials begin for the Mimi's Makings and Motions Super Late Models. Brett, it's good to be here.
Yeah, it certainly is. Evan C. getting his first lap. Dustin Hall, meanwhile, will set the timesheets alight with a 12.623. 24 drivers just signed into the pit area for tonight. Evan C. goes quick time with a 12.485. How about Ethan Toto and Ron Underwood? They go second and third as well.
Those two shoot to the top of the timesheet. Nick Cooper has something to say about it. Drew Hopkins taking time. He's got something to say about it as well. He's going to slot in fourth. Two Kentucky drivers there in third and fourth. Hopkins out of Broadhead, Kentucky, down in Rockcastle County. Toter is from Northern Kentucky, up near Cincinnati, out of Independence. Here's Blake Majulis, and you expect to see him slot in near the top of the timesheet in that 127 entry for D1 RT Racing. We'll see where he winds up. He throws hard into turn one there, slides all the way up the racetrack. I believe this is his first lap. Zach McSwain going to go to the top of the timesheet by 8/10 over Evan C. Keep an eye on that to be sure. And we'll see where Majulis is going to time in. There he goes. Second quick with a 12.432. Matt Logan in the 41 for D1 RT, the ML Performance entry. 18th, Brett. And I believe we had 24 cars in the pit area, so we're close to done with time trials already. And already this field, this is shaking up to be a fun one.
Yeah, less than a minute for these drivers to get their laps in. Matt Logan jumps to 16th quick with a 12.834. So far, 20 cars out of the 24 signing into the pit area have taken a time. Mason Clark, Bo Krebs, Kyle Dersham, and Blake Cannon all yet to take times. There will be no preliminary action. It will be just 3 heat races. All drivers will go straight into the main event. 50 laps on tap around Kokomo. From what we're seeing in the fixed pro late models, what we're seeing in the UMP modifieds, very minimal caution so far, and let's hopefully that the trend is going to continue on here at the super late models.
It's been a very clean night of racing so far, to be sure, but no shortage of excitement in this one already. There you see Ryan Underwood on track, as he may have been getting in some extra practice laps here in this one. But, guy, I cannot stress enough how much fun we've had watching races, and with the format here where you're racing for your starting spot in the A main, you don't have to go through alphabet soup and all that stuff. As we line up heat number 1, you see the official qualifying results. Zach McSwain with a 12.402, your quick time. Majulis, C. Cooper, and Flippo, your top 5 in qualifying. As we get ready to line these heat races up, this is going to be a lot of fun, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to it. Heat race number 1. Let's take a look at your starting grid with Zach McSwain, the 25, starting on pole. He's outside for D1 RT. It's the 35 of Nick Cooper, position 2.
It's the last outlaw out of Broadhead, Kentucky. Drew Hopkins in the 157 machine. Outside of him, James Grace from $1 Million Motorsports in that Grace Productions number 269.
Your third row on the inside in caliber 17 for Vanderpool Racing's Brett Rolls, position number 5 in the ML Performance D1 RT number 41. Matthew Logan will start position number 6. And for Slam Sim Sports and Midwest Motorsports, the 51 of Dixon Slinger, lining up out of position at number 7. These heat races are going to go very, very quickly, and then our 50-lap main event probably in about 10 minutes' time.
Yeah, it's going to be a real quick evening here for the Mimi's Makings and Motion Super Late Model Series. But don't get it twisted. In the next 8 laps of this heat race and the 2 subsequent heat races, you're going to see a whole lot of just guys hell-bent to get to the front, because, again, the better you finish in your heat race, the better your starting spot. In the big show tonight, as we look at Broadhead, Kentucky's Drew Hopkins there in that 157 machine, the Bighorn Taxidermy, number 157 entry. There's Zach McSwain on the pole. McSwain no longer with Slick Sim Sport. That's been a narrative we've been watching throughout this season, as he has found a new team and settled in there. Nick Cooper for D1 RT on the outside. Of course, $1 Million Motorsports driver James Grace lines up 4th. And then Rouse, Logan, and Slinger on back. Great field of cars here in heat number 1, Brett, and we are going green.
Yeah, 8 laps on the board. Here we go. All drivers going to go straight to the show. A bit of contact between Cooper and McSwain. Green flag is out. McSwain will lead him down into 1 and 2. Drew Hopkins works the inside of the racetrack now. But here comes Cooper back in the 35. Keep an eye on James Grace. Work on the top into 3 and 4.
It's Drew Hopkins running where we're familiar to see him running, rolling the bottom here at Kokomo. Zach McSwain doing the same out in front. He slides up the racetrack, down the back straightaway does McSwain. Cooper gets a run like a rocket off of turn number 2. He's going to stick to the cushion through 3 and 4, and he's going to hold on to second place as they cross the start-finish line. Hopkins currently running in third. McSwain still out in front.
Gee, that 35 is really hustling and bustling up on the top side of the racetrack. He quickly moves back into second. Contact with the wall. That allows Drew Hopkins to sneak back up on the inside. Good battle between Cooper and Hopkins, but McSwain, your race leader, by about 3 car lengths. And here comes Cooper, the 35. Just rockets into screen and rockets past the 157. But here comes Hopkins back to the inside. Still side by side down into 1 and 2.
Cooper had the spot at the line, but Hopkins has it as they work off of 2 down the back straightaway. You see Cooper get an excellent run off of turn number 2. The margin for error on the high side is slim, but it's high risk, high reward. If you can run that top side clean, minimize your contact with the wall, you can carry so much momentum here around Kokomo, and that's what you see Nick Cooper doing. And he may be challenging for the lead before the end of this one. He's got a little bit of distance to catch up on McSwain. Big slide job coming from Cooper up the racetrack. McSwain turns down, gets clear. Hopkins gets the door open for him by Cooper's mistake on the slide job. Does he have second at the line, Brett, as the white flag waves?
1 to run. Cooper made the mistake out of turn number 4. That allowed Hopkins to sneak it back up on the inside. Down the back stretch, final time, heat race number 1. It's going to be Zach McSwain who will start on pole for the 50-lap main event later tonight. Drew Hopkins going to come home second. And Nick Cooper unofficially in third. James Gray sticks and Slinger round out the top 5. Matthew Logan and Brett Rolls to make up positions number 6 and 7. Just to confirm heat race number 1 results, here it is: McSwain, Hopkins, Cooper, Grace, Slinger, Logan and Rolls. All cars going straight to the main event. Heat race number 2, let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
It is Blake Majulis out of Asheville, New York on the pole in the 127 for D1RT. It's an all D1RT front row, in fact, as California's Jerry Flippo will line up to his outside in the 13.
Now the 46 for Team VLR. In position number 3, that'll be Ryan Underwood. He's outside, a former World of Thunder Racing League Super Late Model Season 2, I want to say, champion. It's the 17 of Aaron Kitchen, position 4.
Mason Lobb in the 28 for Slam Sim Sports will line up 5th. Outside of him in the 144 machine, it is Brett New.
And your 4th and final row, inside outside, the 92 for Mid-South Dirt Slingers. It is Corey Austin out of position at number 7. And the 93 of Kyle Dersham will roll off out of position at number 8. Smallish field here tonight. We're seeing, in the mid-30s so far over the first couple of weeks, but we've had a lot of drivers inquiring about running this event, but it's invite only. And we were told prior to coming on air that they actually said no to the iRacing Super Late Model World Champion because it was an invitation league only.
Absolutely. Hayden Cardwell applying for entry at the last minute. He joined us for the modified race. First time we've seen him all year. And that's definitely something to keep an eye on. You see Underwood nose right up under Blake Majulis there. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Those two have developed a little bit of a friendship over the last little bit. Ryan Underwood there in that Newton Cattle Farms VLR entry does not get the best start. And Flippo going to take second around the outside as they come off of turn 2. Majulis comfortably out in front already. Yeah,
we've seen what the top side was able to produce there with Nick Cooper in the opening heat race of the night. As here comes Underwood back to the inside, the left front. Oh man, just run over the U-tire up on the infield. And now here comes Aaron Kitchen working the top. Blake Majulis leads after 2 laps. 6 to run. Flippo runs in second. The battle is on for third as Kitchen puts the slaughter on Underwood. He gets into the back of him. Aaron Kitchen takes third.
Underwood did the noble thing there and checked up instead of just absolutely railing Kitchen there off of turn number 2. As Kitchen slid up the racetrack, didn't quite get enough real estate for Underwood to cross back over. As Underwood now back to the bottom here in that number 46 Club 29 race car. He's looking very fast around the bottom. Really the only guy running the bottom. In the top half of the field, Aaron Kitchen there up on the cushion. You can see just how much distance is between them as they come through 1 and 2 in the width of Kokomo Raceway as we come around with just 3 to go.
Now, so far tonight, we've had 3, 4, 5 wide here at Kokomo. Right now, it's Ryan Underwood who holds on to third position, run at the bottom. I was going to say, he's really got that car glued to the inside of the racetrack as he holds on to position 3 as your race leader, Blake Majulis, with a lap and a half to run. He is just checked out at the moment.
Yeah, Majulis has ran away and hid as we come to the white flag. The battle on the racetrack to watch is for this, what would be the last transfer spot, but everybody going straight to the show. But this is a battle for a little bit of track position here on that starting grid as Blake Majulis going to run a cut down line through 3 and 4. He's going to walk to the win, and then Flippo and Underwood, your top 3, Aaron Kitchen, John Lobb. We've got guys wrecking on back there. Looks like Austin and Dersham wrecking there on the last lap, but it is Blake Majulis, your heat race winner. And I feel pretty comfortable saying not a huge surprise there.
No, definitely not. He was always going to be one of the drivers coming into tonight that he was going to be one of these drivers to beat. As we'll take a look, heat race number 2 results coming up on your screen. Blake Majulis confirmed your winner, heat number 2. He will start on the outside of the pole for the 50-lap main event. Jerry Flippo home in 2nd, Ryan Underwood 3rd, Aaron Kitchen 4th, Mason Lobb rounds out the top 5, Corey Austin, Kyle Dersham, and Brent New, the 6th, 7th, and 8th finishes. The final heat race of the night. Let's go trackside and take a look at how they line up here with the Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
On the pole for Victory Lane Racing, it's Evan C. Again, surprise, surprise. Outside of him, a little bit of a surprise, making his HRE Motorsports debut, and the Newton Cattle Farms Racing sponsor, number 23. That's the big deal. Ethan Toder out of DeMossville, Kentucky.
Rolling off out of position number 3 for Slick Sim Sports in car number 331. That'll be Dustin Hall to his outside. The $1 Million Motorsports, the Queen of Dirt Racing in car number 11. That's Jennifer Hauntz.
It's the Winchester Wildman with the big right foot. It's Chase Hardy in the 116. He'll be easy to spot in that chrome vehicle tonight. The Club 29 racer out of Winchester, Virginia. Outside of him, the 6th starting spot, it's Ashton Briggs for Slam Sim Sports.
And position number 7 is going to be Mason Clark, and on his outside was scheduled to be Bo Krebs, but Bo Krebs just had some issues there off the start and pulled that number 68 machine back to the inside. He's already gone back to his trailer, and he'll have to get the 68 figured out, so he'll come from dead last in the B main. In the A main. No B main required. If they do run a B main, it'll be just for positions only, but the final heat race upon us.
So here we go. It's Evan C. and Ethan Toder on the front row. We'll see what Toder can do with starting outside of, like the future Hall of Famer type of guy. And this one, C goes to the bottom in turn 1. Dustin Hall going to follow suit there in 3rd. Toder going to run the cushion around Kokomo Speedway. He is going to be side by side with Evan C. Oh, he brushes the wall there. That's going to hurt him just a little bit, but he is going to hold on to 2nd at the line, Brett.
Yeah, 2nd is, we've got one car around. That's Chase Hardy, but 2nd at the line is Ethan Toder. Work on the top down into turn number 3 and 4. Evan C. very, very good at running the bottom, just like Ryan Underwood there in the last heat race. But it's Dustin Hall who now reclaims 2nd momentarily. But here comes Toder back to the outside. Man, this racetrack has really opened up. Considering how tacky this racetrack still is, Zach, it's opened up a couple of different lanes already.
Absolutely. You've got to pedal the bottom here even when the track is tacky and there's a lot of grip, just because there's no banking to help you roll the car through the corner. There's nothing to catch your momentum and slow you down. It's easy to get loose. So you have to pedal a little more around the bottom. You can run pretty much hammer down around the cushion, but the track is so wide here at Kokomo. You're talking 5 or 6 cars wide. Very few other places boast that kind of real estate, that the difference in distance from the bottom to the top kind of makes up for what you save by not carrying the momentum, Brett.
Yeah, well, 2 laps to run here in the final heat race of the night. The World of Thunder Racing League, of course, presented by Mimi's Makings and Motions. It's the super late models turning it on here at Kokomo, round number 3. The white flag is out. Final time for Evan C.
Absolutely, Evan C. with one more circuit around this one. The battle is for 2nd between Dustin Hall and Ethan Toder. They've traded that runner-up position a number of times with Toder running the cushion. Hall on the bottom. It's going to be a drag race. Toder gets into the wall a couple times through turn 3 and 4, and that lets, Toder gets into the wall rather, and that lets Dustin Hall bring that thing home in that runner-up spot, and that helps out a lot with track position. Ethan Toder comes home 3rd. Then Clark, Hans, Briggs, a couple more drivers. We'll go to your official results here, Brett, and see exactly where everybody finished in that one.
All right, just waiting for the results to skip a couple of them. Then we go heat race number 3 results coming up on your screen. So we do have a B main, and we'll take a look here at your starting grid here in just a few moments. Evan C, Dustin Hall, and Ethan Toder. We're going straight through to the show again. 4th on back, all going to be put into the B main. And tell you what, let's take a look at our Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid. And your fact, I tell you what, we're looking at this. 15 cars getting set to take to the racetrack. The top 13 are going to go through as James Grace starts on pole in the $1 Million Motorsports 260-90. He's outside Aaron Kitchen, position number 2.
Mason Clark for Carter Speed in the 22 lines up third. It's Dixon Slinger for Slam Sim Sports and Midwest Motorsports in the 51 on the outside of row number 2.
Row number 3 going to be the 28 of Mason Lobb out of position 5. He's outside the $1 Million Motorsports Queen of Dirt. Jennifer Hunt starts position 6.
D1RT ML Performance Machine, the 41 of Matt Logan out of Carolina, starts in 7th. Outside of him, it's the 92 of Mid-South Dirt Slingers, Corey Austin.
Ashton Briggs, 11 for Slam Sim Sports, will start position 90. He's outside the Vanderbilt Racing 17R. Brett Rolls, position number 10.
Kyle Dersham in the 93 out of Ohio starts 11th. Outside of him, it's the Winchester Wildman, Chase Hardy in the 116 machine.
Brent New in the 44 machine will start position number 13. Position number 14 will be Bo Krebs. Just getting word through that Jennifer Hans did not make the grid. Neither did Blake Cannon. So the 13 cars you see on the racetrack, Zach, it's all about starting positions in tonight's main event. Is how they finish. The further they finish up, the further they'll start up in the main event field.
Well, there it is. You just gotta hold it together here. Try to get some track position. These are the people you're going to be racing with in the A-Main when you start, too. So maybe try not to make any enemies out here for 10 laps. As James Grace gets a great start to the outside, and he is going to lead off at turn number 2. Mason Clark, the bottom may be starting to fade just a little bit. Kokomo usually top dominant. Aaron Kitchen going to run the cut-down line. He's going to pass James Grace for the lead. Mason Clark holding on the bottom. They are just about 4 wide for the lead, Brett.
Yeah, they were 3 wide through turn number 1 and 2. Mason Clark, your race leader. Kitchen up on the top shelf. Here comes James Grayson, 269 machine. He slides up. Here comes Kitchen with his own move back down into turn number 1 and 2. And now look at Dixon Slinger. 3 wide down the back straight away. James Grace splits them right through the middle.
Yeah, James Grace threads the needle between Kitchen and Slinger down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide pretty much all the way around Kokomo right now here in this one. And it is Dixon. Slinger gets a great run off of turn 2 around the bottom there. Maybe the bottom's not fading away as much as I thought it was. But Slinger gets a little loose off of 4. He's going to lose some momentum, and that's going to open the door back up for the Kryptonite of Aaron Kitchen. To his outside, they battle all the way around Kokomo.
Yeah, you just see how tight that 51 machine gets on the bottom side of the racetrack. Mason Clark are really starting to open up an advantage. Nearly 1.5 second gap. Halfway home that time by 5 down, 5 to run. Brett Rolls now making a challenge here at James Grace for 4th position on the racetrack. Down into 3 and 4. Kitchen trying to get by Slinger again. 4 cars, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. You can throw a blanket over him.
Absolutely, they're all in there. It's real tight. Snug as bugs and rugs down the back straightaway. It's Kitchen in front of Rolls and Grace for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Slinger starts to put a little gap between this battle. We saw, it looks like Chase Hardy fell back to 12th after running up to 7th. He may have had some contact that he received there. Did no caution, so no replay, but suddenly went from 6th to 12th as we see out in front still Mason Clark by a country mile over Slinger. Kitchen, Rolls, and Grace now side by side for 4th and 5th with 2 to go.
Yeah, white flag out this time by for your race leader, Mason Clark again. We don't really see it, but I can tell you Blake Cannon actually come out onto the racetrack in hoping that, maybe some of these other drivers had wrecked out or something like that so he can get a transfer spot. But Mason Clark will win the B-Main here tonight. Dixon Slinger going to grab 2nd, Aaron Kitchen 3rd. 4th will be James Grace, Brett Rolls. He'll round out the top 5. Matthew Logan, Mason Lobb, Corey Austin, Ashton Briggs, Bo Krebs, Chase Hardy, Kyle Dersham, and Brent New, the 13 cars. Again, Blake Cannon and Jennifer Hans both missed the start. Blake Cannon going to come home in position number 14. And that will set us up for our main event. We'll take a quick break and come back on the other side of this. You're watching the Mimi's Makings and Motions World of Thunder Racing League Super Late Models round number 3 from the Kokomo Speedway. We'll take a short break. A 50 lap A-Main on the other side of this. And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV for the BB's Makings and Motions World of Thunder Racing League Super Sunday, round number 3 here from the Kokomo Speedway. It is super late model time as Brett Wheeler joined alongside Zach Newton for the calls. We get set to take a look here at our Ultimate Dirt TV. Starting good here in just a few moments' time. But Zach, 50 laps on the board. We're set for a bell ringer.
Absolutely, this one's going to be a scorcher, and on the pole, it is Carolina's Zach McSwain in the 25. Outside of him, it's Blake Majulis from Asheville, New York, Mr. Moneybags in the 127.
The number 33 for VLR of Evan C. in a start position 3. He's outside the 157 of Drew Hopkins, position number 4.
Jerry Flippo for D1RT out of California in the 13 starts 5th. His outside Slick Sim Sports driver Dustin Hall in the 331.
Out of position number 7 for D1RT, the 35 of Nick Cooper, and he's outside for VLR in the 46 on the Newton Cattle Farms Racing entry. It's Ryan Underwood, position 8.
Newton Cattle Farms teammate starts 9th. It's the big deal, Ethan Toder out of Independence, Kentucky, making his HRE Motorsports debut. And outside of him, it's Carter Speed, number 22 of Mason Clark.
Dixon Slinger for Midwest Motorsports and Slam Sim Sports at 51 will start position 11. Aaron Kitchen in the 17 will start position number 12.
James Grace for $1 Million Motorsports in that 269 machine will start 13th to his outside at row number 7. It's the Vanderpool Racing number 17 of Brett Rolls.
Matthew Logan, the ML Performance D1RT 41, starts 15th. The Mason Lob, the 28 for Slim Sports, out of position 16.
Corey Austin in the 92 for Mid-South Dirt Slingers will start on the inside of row number 9. Outside of him, it's another Slam Sim Sports driver in the 11. That is Ashton Briggs.
Bo Krebs, the 68, out of position 19, and Chase Hardy will start position 20.
And bringing up the rear in row number 11, it's Kyle Dersham out of Ohio in the 93, and outside of him, the 44 machine of Brett New.
All right, simple question. Who you picking?
Well, it's one of those things. I'll tell you what, we're going to have a little fun. I'm going to take Broadhead, Kentucky's Drew Hopkins starting in 4th. If he can get to the bottom, the racetrack's still pretty green. We haven't seen a lot of racing. That's who I'm going with, Brett.
You really want to make it hard between Majulis and C. I tell you what, I'm not going to pick any of them. I'm going to go Ryan Underwood. Here we go, 50 laps on the board. Green flag is out. The Super Late Model main event is underway with Zach McSwain going to lead the field down into turn number 1 and 2. 3 wide flipper on the inside of Hopkins, and Majulis work on the top side. He'll now come to the middle, looking to get around Evan C. out of turn number 4. Your leader on lap number 1 is Zach McSwain.
Zach McSwain's been fast all night. Evan C. has been fast all season. He's running second. Majulis to the high side. Outside of C looking for real estate. Oh, there comes, I think that was Underwood came in and made contact with Majulis. That's not how you make friends and influence people here at Kokomo, but this is elbows up. And look there on the bottom of the racetrack battling Jerry Flippo for that 3rd spot. It's Drew Hopkins, D1RT teammate Blake Majulis to the outside to make it 3 wide off of 4.
Yeah, 3 wide for the final spot on the podium at this stage. With 3 laps into the main event, 50 laps around Kokomo. Hopkins has got that thing rolling on the bottom side. Flippo in that bright yellow, black and red number 13 machine. Man, I tell you what, he has really impressed me over the first couple of weeks of the season, and doing the same thing here again here tonight at Kokomo.
Jerry Flippo, a modified driver out of California, pretty much came out of nowhere during World of Thunder Speed Weeks back about a month and a half ago, and since this season started, he has been all over the podium, putting on a great display, but he's got his hands full right now with Blake Majulis banging on his doorstep and Drew Hopkins in front of him, and they're all trying to chase down C and McSwain out in front. As this track's still very racy, very well balanced. The top is not quite as dominant as it normally is by the time you get to A-Mains at Kokomo, Brad.
No, that's right. To see these drivers still go 3 wide for 3rd, 4th and 5th, it just goes to show you right now the track is in tip-top shape here early on in the main event. You wonder how much will that bottom side slicking off? How will the drivers adapt to the slick lines here at Kokomo? Flippo slides up in front of Underwood. That's for 5th and 6th. They nearly make a little contact as Majulis now to the outside. He's up to 4th and now closing in on 3rd of Drew Hopkins.
Well, the margin for error here at Kokomo is Underwood throws a slider up in front of Flippo. Flippo gets drilled from behind there. Couldn't quite see who that is that made contact with him, but he's going to hold on. May have been Dustin Hall there as we look at Ethan Toder battling around the inside in that number 23 machine. He's back there battling for a spot in the top 10. Good run for him tonight so far. Zach McSwain still your leader. Evan C. Drew Hopkins 2nd and 3rd.
C starting to close in on your race leader down out of turn number 4. We've just gone past 11 laps in the books, 39 still to run. Evan C. the left front nearly caught that inside U-tie. He was good on the top in 1 and 2 on the previous lap, but now McSwain leaves the door open. Oh boy, it's getting dicey right now. And how about Drew Hopkins holding on to third, first yellow of the night in the main event?
Well, we get our first yellow flag in a moment to breathe because the action has been relentless. We go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and we're looking at Chase Hardy in that 116 machine, and he's having the same luck in that chrome car that Scott Bloomquist had when he broke one out in the World 100 as he gets collected by a spinning, that was Matt Logan there, and he's got all kinds of damage. He's going to have to fix that, take that to the pit area and get his quick fixes. Again, you see to his outside looks like Matt Logan and Aaron Kitchen, I think. And yeah, Kitchen gets into Logan. Logan gets turned down into Hardy, and then Hardy collects the 92 of Corey Austin. Nothing Hardy can do there. He was going to get around that clean until Logan got turned down.
Yeah, it's a really unfortunate incident that happened here between Logan, Hardy, Kitchen as well. But first yellow of the night, and this is going to bunch the field back up. Maybe a nice little break there for Zach McSwain, because now they weren't too far away from approaching lap traffic. And what that does, obviously, with the yellow, if they double the field back up, it's going to give an open track to Zach McSwain. But then you tag on the back of of that Blake Majulis, Drew Hopkins, Ryan Underwood, Jerry Flippo, Dixon Slinger as well. What's going to happen here on the restart?
Yeah, and Hopkins and Underwood are right where they'd like to be there on the bottom here in Kokomo. You're going to see Hopkins be able to dart right to the inside off the restart. Underwood going to be right there in his hip pocket, and McSwain gets a good start, but here comes Evan C. I think we've got a slide job cooking at Kokomo. We do. Oh, what a move on the crawl. We got another caution flag. Man, come on.
Oh,
what a heartbreaker that one is.
Yeah, 3 wide for the lead out of turn 4. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. The 93 of Kyle Dersham here had some issues here, and this is the reason why the yellow is out for the second time tonight. Oh, man. Mason Lobb in the 28. Matt Logan involved in that one as well. Boy, oh boy. The restarts. A few times we've seen it here tonight, that drivers just get checked out by the cars in front of them. And unfortunately, some of these drivers have literally nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks like looks like Toter kind of restarted. I mean, that's a real life restart. You turn down the racetrack to lengthen the front straightaway out. You see a lot of guys up front do it. Toter got a good start, turned down, and Lob tried to cut underneath him, and unfortunately, there's a whole lot of race car there to break Lob's momentum. But it is Aaron Kitchen out in front, or not Aaron Kitchen, excuse me, Zach McSwain out in front as we get ready to go back to green. Single file this time, Brett.
Yeah, caution on the caution means the field goes single file. Well, you feel sorry for the guys in the back half of the field because they can be down the back stretch when the green comes out. But we're back underway. We're going to complete lap number 15 this time by still 35 remaining. Zach McSwain, your leader from Evan C. Blake Majulis, top 3, run the top side down into turn number 1 and 2. I've got to say Drew Hopkins probably the first car inside the first top 6 or 7 drivers that have been run on the top. Slider by Sean McSwain.
Yeah, as soon as you said Drew Hopkins is the only guy running low, Evan C. drives hard into 3 and 4 and throws that big slider. Unfortunately, McSwain carrying a lot of momentum on the top side. Is C going to throw another one? He might get clear this time. We'll see McSwain running that middle line and carrying a lot of momentum through the corner. C on the top side. We'll see if he can get a run off of 2 down the back straightaway. He does. Man,
he just makes it look so easy right now down into turns 3 and 4. McSwain and Majulis come together. And that's going to bring on the yellow as, boy, oh boy, no driver wanted to give an inch there, and Zach McSwain pointed the wrong direction in turn number 1 and 2. It was always brewing.
It's here at Kokomo, it's elbows up. We called it a bull ring. This kind of stuff happens. It's going to be interesting to see what the admins here do because this is, I think it's incidental contact but then these guys kind of lock horns here. Like a couple of mountain goats, and we're going to see if Majulis also gets penalized for bringing this caution out, Brett. And that's in race control's hands. That's above our pay grade.
Way above our pay grade.
So yeah, I was going to say, telling 2 guys the world championship level, yeah, you're both going to the tail of this feature race here at Kokomo. That's something we'll leave to Steve and BJ there in race control. And we're going to see what they do as we go back to live pictures, as Steve McMillian would say.
Steve wouldn't say that. I always say that.
No, Steve definitely says that.
Go back and watch our broadcast.
Okay, well, I've heard Steve say it. Maybe Steve was making fun of you for saying it. It looks like...
Yeah, probably because we had a drivers meeting 5 minutes ago. Drivers meeting 5 minutes ago. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Evan C. Blake Majulis. Well, he's running. He's still running in second spot as we're going to change for the race there. But Evan C. He takes it back and keep an eye on Hopkins. And here comes Ryan Underwood now throwing his hat into the mix.
Absolutely. Great battle up front here. They're almost 4 wide there for that second spot. Majulis gets his spot back after the restart. Underwood gets into the wall through 1 and 2. That's going to open the door for Mason Clark. We've got a battle cooking here at Kokomo. And look at little Drew Hopkins running down there, the Rockcastle Rocket, all over the bottom here at Kokomo. He's making it work right there around those U tires. The only guy running that lane, and I think probably the top 10.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's made the bottom side his own at nearly at every racetrack we've gone to. He just loves to put the 157 and goes the shortest route possible here. He holds on to position 3, but only momentarily because here comes that 46 of Ryan Underwood as Flippo. He makes a little bit of contact, moves Mason Clark out of the way. That allows for Dustin Hall to move into position 6. But your race leader is Evan C. And he is doing a phenomenal job out in front, holding off Blake Majulis.
It's very political of you to say Flippo made a little contact with Mason Clark because he fed him the whole right side of that race car, and he moves into 5th. Drew Hopkins still on the bottom, kind of side by side with Underwood through the corners, but Underwood carries so much more momentum running that higher line, so much more momentum carrying that higher line around the racetrack that Hopkins struggling to keep up as the bottom begins to fade here at Kokomo. We're going to see if Hopkins jumps up the racetrack as we work back through the field here. There you see Brett Rowles and Nick Cooper side by side. That's the battle for 9th. Cooper's got it as he slides up the racetrack. James Grace also involved in that, as is Ethan Toder there in the 23 machine. Toder going to slide up to 9th in front of Rolls. Great battling on back all over this racetrack, Brett. It's absolute bedlam.
Yeah, this goes to show that this is why this could be one of the best racetracks. You can either have a really good showing here or it can be disaster. So far, Touchwood round number 3. The Mimi's making some motions, World of Thunder Racing League. It has been a pretty phenomenal night so far. Evan C continues to lead the race. Ahead from Blake Majulis. The gap there is about 7/10 of a second. You see Majulis coming into screen. Then you go back to Underwood, who's just gotten away now from Drew Hopkins. Hopkins, he's had to bite the bullet. He's had to go to the top side all the way around.
Absolutely. You can see the top dominance of Kokomo starting to take over, and that's going to make the end of this race fun because Flippo, you can see there, everybody runs the top. You got to find a way around people, and that's when you start throwing those big haymaker-style sliders, a real mega punch or mega kick, if you will, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, top 5. They run the middle of the racetrack down through turn number 3 and 4. Closest battle on screen, I want to say, is between right now Dixon Slinger, Mason Clark, Nick Cooper. Again, all these drivers inside the top 10. Toder and Brett Rolls going at it as well. Just outside of the top 10, or one of those drivers outside of the top 10. Clark with a move on Slinger, but Slinger back to the outside. It was 18 to go at the start-finish line.
Absolutely. Again, great battling all over this racetrack. I wish we could kind of show you the whole thing at once and not lose the definition to see who's who and where's where, because Kokomo is exciting, and we've got a car sideways. It's Dixon Slinger into a U-tire.
How did he save that?
I have no idea how he saved that and jumped a U-tire, but there had to be suspension damage on that car. The whole thing was off the ground, and we do have a caution flag.
Oh boy. Caution late in the race. Again, lap traffic. I believe this might be Bo Krebs and Kyle Dersham here having some issues down into turn number 3. Here's the 68. Oh, he gets a little loose. A little loose on the front stretch and gets tagged there by the 11 of Ashton Briggs, and hard into the rear end goes Bo Krebs. And man, that's not how you want a super late model to look.
No, it's really not. Usually you'd like to have a spoiler and you know, straight body panels, Brett, but unfortunately Krebs no longer equipped with a spoiler there on the back of that race car, and that's going to probably just about do it for his night.
Yes, but still sitting still sitting in the main event, the 22 cars. Lights are still on the pace truck. Evan C. Would you call this an interesting move? He's gone to the top.
You know, at some places, yeah, I would say that's an interesting move. But here at Kokomo, the move is going to be, I mean, that's where you want to get to. You know, you want to be right up around the cushion. You want to be scraping the wall through 1 and 2, and getting stuck on the bottom and having guys be able to carry that momentum around you on a restart. That's the opposite of what you want. So not super surprising to see C take this route.
Well, here's the thing. Now it opens up the bottom side for Majulis to come back in. We're not going green. We're going to throw the lights on the pace truck, and Barney just not happy with the order there, as Bo Krebs had stopped on the racetrack, so he'll make his way to the back of the field. But again, like I just said, well, I mean, time's only going to tell, right? Because you give Blake Majulis the bottom side, you open the door for him to immediately throw that slider down into turn number 1 and 2. And again, could that break the rhythm? And what that'll also do is that'll bring the guys behind him, Drew Hopkins, Ryan Underwood, that brings them back into the picture again. So, flip of a coin, we'll see if it works out for Evan C.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's you've got to kind of take a stab at something here to hold on to the race lead if you're Evan C. And if we're smart enough to know that Majulis is going to throw that slider, I watch for C to run a big cut down line through 1 and 2. He still controls the restart, and we are green, and he gets a great jump. Majulis goes to the bottom as predicted. Does he throw the slider up the racetrack? Not really, and C catapults by him there down the back straightaway. We'll have to see if the top side can stick. There's the slider in 3 and 4. C wisely cuts down. He holds on to the lead at the line.
Yeah, but now that gives Majulis the top side and gets the run down the back straightaway. Evan C very smartly protecting the middle of the racetrack down into turn number 3. 14 laps to go at the start-finish line. Here comes Ryan Underwood now, working the top as Evan C runs the top. Flippo runs the middle as here. Battle on for the lead once again. Majulis and C, two of the best going at it here at Kokomo.
Big slider from Blake Majulis. C again cuts down the veteran move from Evan C. And he runs the bottom through 1 and 2. Does he slide up the racetrack as Majulis gets into the wall? He does. He's clear. Evan C going to hold the lead into 3 and 4 as he wisely runs the middle of the racetrack. But Ryan Underwood is right there banging on the door. He's got a podium spot right now, but I don't quite think he's done, Brett, as Majulis still trying to make a short slider stick through 1 and 2.
Yeah, going to drive it deep down into 3 and 4. Oh, man, really come across the nose of the 33. 11 to go here at Kokomo. And look at now, Ryan Underwood again off on the inside of his teammate, but now Majulis splits him 3 wide down into turn number 3.
Boy, these three guys are dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight here in central Indiana as Blake Majulis and Evan C. dance and Ryan Underwood beats on the door to get in. Jerry Flippo now involved. It's Evan C. leading. Majulis goes to the bottom slider coming up the racetrack at Kokomo. The margin starting to shrink that C leads by at the line. It's just about half a car that time by, and we're inside 10 to go, Brett. This is getting spicy, and a caution waves.
Yeah, Aaron Kitchen in the 17, and just I was about to say it's D1RT versus VLR. I feel like it's been that for the opening couple of weeks of the season. Those two teams absolutely dominating here in the World of Thunder Racing League. We take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay as Aaron Kitchen in the 17 throws a slider on Grace. And Aaron Kitchen just loops that number 17 machine. Poor old Matt Logan. Man, he done well to pull that machine up.
Yeah, great display of braking there by Matt Logan to make that happen and dodge that big contact. But, man, with inside of 10 to go, this race is everything we thought it would be between C and Majulis. And you picked Ryan Underwood, and I'm not ready to count him out yet. He's able to hang with two of the best in the world, and say what you want about the kid. He's definitely got the talent to be there. Let's see if he can hold on to that third spot or maybe get a couple more out of it, Brad.
All right, 7 to go here. Single file restarts inside of 10 laps to go in the main event. 50 laps the distance. Lap make that 8 to go. Lap number 42 is complete. We're back underway with Evan C. Blake Majulis. Immediately Majulis goes with a half-ass slider into turn number 1 and 2. He stayed to the middle of the racetrack. Ryan Underwood works to the outside on Joe Flippo. Flippo sliding up, but Underwood back to the outside. You race off the 4, and now here comes Underwood all out of the inside of Blake Majulis.
Underwood throws a short slider across the middle of the racetrack and nearly collects Majulis, but Majulis gets a great one run off of 2 and gets clear. They all 4 run kind of that high middle through 3 and 4. Everybody up next to the wall and on their best behavior through 1 and 2. Majulis collects a little bit of the Kokomo concrete. Down the back straightaway, Evan C. starts to check out just a little bit as Majulis and Underwood now battle for that runner-up spot.
Yeah, here comes Underwood with a big dive bomb down into turn number 1 and 2. He'll take the top line away from Majulis, but Majulis as a veteran move, as then we got Kyle Dersham around in turn number 3. Yellow's on once again, and Bo Krebs as well in the 68. Had some issues here. So a couple of drivers just towards the back of the field as it all started with... Nope, that wasn't it. As there's the 68 getting helped around there by, I believe, Aaron Kitchen. That's not the reason for the caution because we were still green at that stage. Here, there it is, right there. 93 of Kyle Dersham bringing on the yellows. Just single car spin down into turn number 3.
Yeah, collects the opening there on the back straightaway. And if you get into the wall in front of the opening, it'll kick you out into the kind of no man's land there on the outside of the racetrack. And you will hit where the wall angles in, and that will just about spell doom for your racing evening. But man, what a little dash are we about to have between this top, I'd say 5 cars, honestly, as Jerry Flippo's right there, Drew Hopkins back in the mix, and Evan C., Blake Majulis, and Ryan Underwood currently your podium spots right now as we get ready to go green.
Looking at around 4 laps remaining in the main event, Evan C., Blake Majulis, Ryan Underwood, Jerry Flippo, Drew Hopkins. What a stout top 5 it is. Green flag back in the air. How can Blake Majulis run down Evan C.? Well, we're going yellow very, very quickly. And this is where it starts to get dicey.
Yeah, everybody battling for position back there. And we go to our UDTV instant replay here to see what happened. It's James Grace. There you see Britt Rolls and Dixon Slinger there around him. And Grace kind of lags back a little bit to get a good jump. He turns down, and then Slinger turns across him, and Rolls collects him. And that's the price you pay when you try to leave that little bit of gap and turn under a guy on a restart, Brett.
Yeah, it's not just this racetrack. The shorter type racetracks, you know, the Kokomos, the Fairberries, the Lima Land, Lanier's, all those tight little bull rings that, you know, drivers at single file restart, you know, that might be sitting back in, you know, that 10th, 11th, 12th, you know, right in the mid-pack. You make that one little mistake and the guy in front of you cuts down. You've got to get off the gas. Then the guy behind you doesn't react quick enough in time, causes a big chain and ripple effect. But again, it's just short track racing at its finest.
Short track racing. Speaking of Fairbury, we'll be in Fairbury Tuesday night as Ultimate Dirt TV brings you the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic. If you're having fun with us tonight at Kokomo as we get ready to go green, expect a whole lot more for 100 laps at Fairbury, Brett. Uh-oh. We got a yawn from the Australian as Evan C. takes the green flag. Top 3 runs the top. And then Jerry Flippo going to try to dive bomb underneath Ryan Underwood for third. They're side by side down the back straightaway. But Underwood with a great run off of turn 2 is going to hold on to that podium spot right now. He's going to start to look to the inside of Majulis, maybe, just maybe, when they come out of 2, as they all brush the wall just a little bit there out of 2, Brett.
Yeah, they're all trying their best. Hayden Cardwell impersonation. This time by the white flag is out. 1 to run for Evan C. Right through the middle of turn number 1 and 2. He knows he's got a good distance between himself and second place, but into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4, the Mimi's making some motion. Super late model winner goes to VLR. They go back to victory lane. Evan C. will win. Blake Majulis second. Ryan Underwood will grab the final spot on the podium. 4th is going to go to Jerry Flippo. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be Drew Hopkins in that 157.
What a race we saw there again. Evan C., your winner by 8/10 of a second over Blake Majulis. Ryan Underwood comes home third. Flippo and Hopkins your top 5. I mean, what a show we saw here at Kokomo. And we're not totally done yet. We've got victory lane interviews coming up in a minute, Brett. We go through the rest of the field. It's Dustin Hall, Nick Cooper, Ethan Toder, Zach McSwain, and Mason Clark, the rest of the top 10.
Yeah, Dixon Slinger in 11th, Chase Hardy in 12th, Ashton Briggs 13th, Mason Lobb 14th, and Aaron Kitchen your top 15.
Matt Logan, Corey Austin, Bo Krebs, 19th goes to James Grace. Kyle Dersham brings it home in 20th. And then Brett Rolls and Brent New round out the rest of the field in 21st and 22nd. The Mimi's making some motion. Super late models never disappoint.
Just take a note of that. 21 out of the 22 cars finished on the lead lap. The 22nd driver just went 2 laps down in 50 laps around Kokomo. That just goes to show that these drivers were really putting on a show here tonight.
Absolutely best on all of iRacing. We go to victory lane in just a couple minutes after this quick break.
All right, we're back here on Ultimate Dirt TV. For post-race interviews, the Mimi's Makings and Motions World of Thunder Racing League. It is super late model action completed. Brett Wheeler alongside Zach Newton as we go and throw it over to Zach, who's caught up in victory lane with your race winner.
Well, we're back in Victory Lane with Victory Lane Racing's Evan C. And Evan, I feel like we keep meeting like this. Between you and Underwood, I think 5 of the last 7 features, and VLR takes 6 of the last 7. What's this hot streak like for you guys?
Oh yeah, I mean we've just been working on setups pretty hard, ever since the Pro Series, and just kind of continued on since then. And we've just been pretty fast, no matter what track we go to, and as long as we can put ourselves in position there to be at the end of the race, I feel like we're a threat to win every time.
Well, this track was a little different than what we saw in the modifieds. We didn't have the car count for the series, with it being invite only. How does that change how green the track surface stays? Is it more racy when it's like this, or would you rather have it a little more ran in like we saw in the modifieds?
Less cars, and I don't think it's as racy. Kind of the bottom and top usually gets worn out just a little bit more. If we have 60 cars or so, and I believe the middle last time here, and even in Pro Series, was pretty fast. I thought it might come in, and it was a little bit fast in the beginning, but the top just had way more momentum, especially in 1 and 2 there. And it is what it is. It's Kokomo. It's a big cushion up there, and 90% of the time you're going to be using it.
Absolutely. Well, you're back in Victory Lane. Any sponsors you want to thank?
Yes, got to thank all the guys at Team VLR, FTP, Jeff Brown and Iris Nine Flag, Kevin Dedman, his band Dirty Grass Soul, Captain Morgan, Jim Emery, Next Soul Designs for the paints, and just thank y'all for doing the broadcast, and Steven for putting on the series.
Well, Evan C., your winner here, the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Series VLR, has won 6 of the last 7 World of Thunder features, and the man who broke that streak finished second, and Brett Wheeler has caught up with him, Blake Majulis.
Yeah, standing by with the driver that started on the outside of the front row. Led a couple of laps there, but unfortunately, Blake Majulis, you come home second. You come home in another bridesmaid spot, but another good points night for you in that 127 team.
Yeah, not too bad of a night. With how the car was looking there, about 15, 20 laps in, I can't complain. The thing was destroyed. I'd go to run the top, and the thing would just want to steer to the right as soon as I'd get back on the throttle, so it was hard to even run the fast line there at the end, but to hold on to second was good. I know I was just a standstill there for a while, but, second isn't bad after that.
The track early on looked very racy. You guys were throwing some big haymakers. Talk about what it's like in trying to perfect those sliders there, on such a tight little racetrack.
Yeah, you got to be able to judge sliders. Like, I kind of knew when I could and when I couldn't. I knew the only chance I would have is if I threw a good slider and maybe get him to mess up. He definitely had a better car, obviously. If you didn't have like McSwain in here and stuff, it would have been an even better race. He's a throttle master, and then had to wreck my stuff there, and it made the race kind of crappy for me at least. And it just sucks you got guys like that out there, but it is what it is. And it was a good track, I feel. I kind of wish we had something like that in the modifieds. That middle was there was a lot of moisture through the middle. I feel like it would have been a good race, but like I said, just sucks we had some conflicts tonight.
What was it like on that final restart? What was going to be your game plan? Because knowing that there was only 2 or 3 laps left to run, you would have had very limited opportunities to get by Evan.
Yeah, I kind of just approached it like any other one. I knew that if I could get side, like once we went single file, I knew the race was over. Just because when we were double file, if I could stay even with him at the flagstand, I'd throw a slider, we'd be even off 2, and we'd go back and forth. But once you're single file, you can't even get remotely close with the slider. He's just going to pull you off the corner. So once it went single, it kind of hurt me. But I knew like if I would have got a good slider and could hold to his left rear, I'd throw a slider. But other than approaching that last restart, it was just kind of let's hold on to second.
I've got to ask you, I think with about 15 or 16 to go, there was a yellow double file restart. Evan chose the outside, gave you the inside line. Were you actually surprised that he chose the outside line, considering that, the way that the track was starting to shape up?
Hayden did that in the modifieds, and he took right off, so I kind of wasn't like too surprised because the top is so dominant, usually in 1 and 2. The bottom went away there a little bit, and the top was just dominant. And I wasn't really surprised because I knew he'd just powerhouse around me if I threw a slider. So, not too surprised by that. But, I was a little bit because I knew that he knew the slider was coming. He knew that every time. But I guess, he just timed it up right and blew right by me. So it wasn't that big of an issue for him.
No, Blake, well done on yet another podium. You're the only driver in the last 7 races to pick up a win other than VLR. But second here tonight, the Super Late Models of Kokomo. Blake, before we let you go, of course, sponsors on this race car, people behind the scenes, who gets it done for you?
Thank you, Brett, for everything you do in your time every week. Can't thank you enough, man. DNRT Racing, Sim Seats, Matt Logan at ML Performance, Folds Graphics, my girlfriend T, and everybody that watched. Thank you.
All right, there we go. Blake Majulis from home in second spot. Let's throw it over to Zach, who's standing by with our third place finisher.
Well, let's see if we can get him up here. The wild animal himself, Ryan Underwood. Ryan, you got me, bud?
Yes, sir.
Ryan, great run tonight. You got a first place finish in the DirtFan.com Fixed Pros. You come home third in the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Models. You got to be feeling pretty good about your night here at Kokomo so far.
I think we could have done a whole lot better in a modified deal. Just got caught up in a wreck, a little bit of a racing deal. And here I got into Blake really hard in 3 and 4. I didn't mean to do that to him, but I think it set us both up really bad throughout the race.
Yeah, you both managed to hold on to a podium. You had a challenge from a guy on the come up. We've been talking to you. It seems like more and more here on the podium or in victory lane after these races. And now you got guys like Jerry Flippo, who kind of came out of nowhere in Speed Weeks, kind of beating on your door. So what's it like to kind of transition from the guy who's kind of up and coming to one of the top stars in this series?
It's hard to explain, but once you get up there, you know it. You'll be running up front about every race. It's just who could have the best of luck and whoever could set up the car. It's not really the driver to a certain extent.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, again, you come home third. 2 podium spots in 3 races. VLR has won 6 of the last 7. Majulis is the only guy who seems to can knock you guys out of World of Thunder victory lane or off the podium. Who's sponsors that got you here, bud?
Yeah, thank you. Newton Cattle Farms, VLR, TAC 3 Defense, World of Thunder for putting all us on, Daryl Lanigan Racing, Wise Power Equipment, Sea High Performance, Dirty Grass Soul, Hoosier by Wildman, and Toter Family Racing.
Well, Ryan Underwood comes home with a bronze medal here in the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Models. And Brett, we got ourselves to Kokomo, and we've had a fine time so far, and you're not done yet, friend.
No, we've still got one more race on the program, but I want to thank you, Zach, for all you've done here at Ultimate Dirt TV, and of course, thank you for tonight with Alex as well, and I'll be joined by Wesley. But Zach, before we let you go, of course, for the final time here on the Sunday night, your final thoughts from Kokomo.
Well, Kokomo never disappoints. I love a good bull ring. I was brought up at Barron County Speedway in Glasgow, Kentucky. God rest that gorgeous quarter mile, as well as a whole bunch of bull rings in Kentucky. This is kind of my home turf, so to speak. I'm a quarter mile guy, and I love coming to Kokomo and calling races. It's always fun to be here with you, Brett. But yeah, great night. Can't wait for next week. It's always a good time to be here on Ultimate Dirt TV. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday night at the Prairie Dirt Classic from Fairbury. It's more elbows up stuff for me for 100 laps on Tuesday.
All right, looking forward to that one. And well, we're not done with just yet, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got the Open Pro late models to come, of course, presented by Warrior Logistics. So stick around on that one in about half hour's time, I'd say. But again, a big thanks to World of Thunder Racing League and, of course, Rocket Racing Setups for their support here on Ultimate Dirt TV. On behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV, on behalf of Zach Newton and myself, Brett Wheeler, we're not going to say goodnight just yet. We'll say we'll see you soon.